so much. All right, so why we're here to talk about healthcare, right? So what does healthcare look like and why is it so important? How has access to a doctor improved your life and where might you be without medical attention? And do you know someone who's pregnant or just had a baby or someone who knows someone who's pregnant or just had a baby? So these are questions that we want to ask you. And again, feel free to shout out. You can raise your hands, you can do whatever, but these are the conversations that we need to be having. So why is healthcare so important? I know that sounds basic, but it seems to me that quite a few people do not understand why we need healthcare the way that we do. So let's talk about it. Hi. Yes.
Some people would literally die without healthcare, either by suicide or other causes.
Okay, thank you.
And a healthy population overall is pretty important to the functioning of a country, since you have more people working and more access to education and all that stuff.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. What else? Yes, sir. She's right behind you.
It's hard to understand how in America we don't understand that healthcare is a human right.
Okay. We need to pass a collection plate around because we're going to church. Some of you will get that, some of you won't. That's okay. Okay, anyone else?
As someone who's worked in multiple aspects of the healthcare field, I can tell you that the transformative experience for individuals who are able to receive the type of healthcare that they need is beyond words. And I think that a lot of people who don't understand how much healthcare impacts individuals discount the importance of these programs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, great. Lisa.
I am fortunate enough to have worked in a career that provided health care. My middle child works a 60-hour week for an employer that does not provide health care, and she's had to purchase her own, thank goodness for the Affordable Care Act, and now being married to somebody who can provide her, but she would go without whatever, because A, she had to pay for her health care and couldn't afford whatever, or B, she couldn't, her health care didn't cover things she needed. Fortunately, she had parents who could provide that.
Right.
So, but not everybody has that, and it's ridiculous that we are in a society that does not provide this basic need.
Okay, thank you. Can you pass the mic? Yes.
So I would be dead if without healthcare. I went through the whole breast cancer rigmarole, and healthcare looks like being able to have access to a doctor and being able to afford that doctor. It is access to preventable diseases, and I don't know someone who is pregnant or just had a baby, but I mean, there are a lot of people right now who are unhoused who are pregnant. And, you know, healthcare is important for that because, you know, you don't want to have unhoused people having babies and then, and I'm sorry to say it this way, but it's like, then they just learn how to be unhoused, and then it continuously and over time just creates this traumatic, awful cycle of that. And we can see it in other places in the world where we have a lot of displaced people. So,
Thank you.
And poverty is a pretty big, well, reasoning for why. And poverty is a pretty big reason as to why crimes happen, and
No, I think you're fine. If I may, what I think you're saying is that poverty is a pretty good indicator of future poverty, and that not having health care puts you in a position to continuously be in that bracket. Is that kind of what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And we'll come back. There's plenty of opportunity. One more. Thank you.
I would add public health to this.
Okay.
That is sanitation, sewage systems, clean water,
Healthcare also includes the eye doctor, the dentist. Are we talking about pregnant women or having a baby? Let's talk about the prevention of pregnancy, because everybody does not want to have a baby. And it's talking about reproductive, just healthcare in general. Let's talk about the STDs, the prevention of them, how do we treat the education of it. Like, without healthcare, we go back to being a third world country.
Exactly. Thank you. Before we continue, I want to read you something, and I want you to just listen to what this is, and then I'll ask you to share your thoughts. So I want you to just, for the next 10 seconds, when I say the word violence, what comes to mind? So just sit with that. Okay, all right. Sit with that for a second. So I looked up the definition of violence. Violence is the intentional use of physical force or power, threatened or actual, against oneself, another person, or against a group of community that results in or has a high likelihood of resulting in injury, death, psychological harm, maldevelopment, or deprivation. What is violence? What is violence?
Withholding healthcare.
Okay, I didn't say it, just saying. What is violence? Would you consider people purposefully, intentionally taking away your access to health care? Would you consider that a violent act? Yes. Would you have considered that, for those of you who may not have known this definition of violence existed, would you have considered that violent before? Words matter. Language matters. You hear things like global warming or climate change. It's the same thing, packaged a little bit differently. You say defund the police. People hear, get rid of the police, they're terrible, they're awful people. Language matters. So we're going to be talking about this and framing this in a way that is not telling you to go out and be physically violent, but it is okay for you to be angry. Matter of fact, I'd say if you're not angry, you're not paying attention, because I am pissed. Quite frankly, I am done shirking away from the image of being the angry black woman. I am so far beyond angry, it's not even funny. I am rage personified. And you should be too.